What the fuck is going on? Holy fuck. Let's get some motherfuckers going now, bud. Boom. Yeah, it's just a BB gun. My son's took it away from his ass. Woke up this morning and chuck wagons are all gone. We had 2 packs of fucking 8 or something like that. Going in the boys' rooms downstairs and popcorn bags. Third everywhere. Fucking fruit cups and fucking applesauce. Fucking whatever. Bunch of fucking food taken. So me and my wife fell asleep early last night. Girls were gone for most of the night. So we had ourselves some fun, and then they came home, got the baby to sleep, and then, you know, we ended up having fun and falling asleep early, which means our kids didn't go to bed at a reasonable hour, meaning the boys stay up watching TV or whatever for however long they did it. You know, God only knows how long. And, you know, when you watch TV, you're bored, you know. And you get in that trance state and all that shit and whatever they say about that shit, but what I'm trying to get at is, you know, when you watch TV, you get fucking bored sometimes, and then you fucking want to eat, and you 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 want to eat. So you eat like a motherfucker because you're just sitting in front of the TV. I know it used to happen to me. I used to get bored and want to eat, and my kids are like, I'm bored, I'm hungry. It's like, no, go do something that fulfills you, and you won't be hungry. But anyway, point is, if they stay up all night, they want to eat, and they go in and raid our fucking fridge. And then more than that, we go in the morning, get our coffee and all that shit. Came back, my wife already had their snacks ready for their lunch, and we just had to add the lunch, going to get them a fucking Lunchable or something like that, and then come back and all the fucking snacks are out of my daughter's book bag, along with, she goes to a French school, and on Fridays they have privilege, which is privilege day, which means you can bring something from home, fucking toy. In this case, she wanted to bring gum, so she brought gum to school for a day so she can have some gum while she chews underneath the mask. I don't fucking know, I don't get it. Don't get me started about the mask thing, but point is, they stole that too from her, so I just had to go fucking buy some fucking gum because my 2 oldest boys decided to take from their sister. You know, sibling rivalry, this and that, whatever else, and I get it, but it still pisses me off. And, you know, it's kind of what I want to talk about is, if you're not trying to depolarize yourself, and being depolarized isn't enlightenment. It's not the way to reach enlightenment. It's definitely something beneficial and will help you become enlightened. I mean, what the fuck is enlightenment? I don't fucking know. What I try to teach here is not how to get people enlightened. It's simply how to use and do magic. Whether you know what you want or you don't know what you want, you're going to figure it out. Because you're going to cast for things and you may or may not get them. And when you do get them, like me, for example, we needed money. I got $200 today again for no fucking reason. Casting for it, you know. Did a sigil for, well, after I did the whole Thunder Wizard thing, my response to Thunder Wizard saying no positive affirmations, and I did my best to not be mean or anything like that, because like I said, I still watch his videos. I like learning from him. I think he may have blocked me so I don't comment, and that's fine. I already told myself I wasn't going to comment anymore because of the way he responded. I'm not really learning anything when I ask him a question and he answers me, and, you know, like I said, tries to paint the picture that I need to go back to NA. Fuck, like I said, he may be right. Who knows? I haven't used it. I don't plan on using, so I don't think I need to go to a meeting. And I tried to look up the meeting that I was talking about in town, and it hasn't got up and running yet. They're waiting for enough people for whatever reason. So kind of shit out of luck there in my town anyways. I mean, my town doesn't even have a detox center. The closest detox center to Cornwall, Ontario, I have to go to Kingston if someone needs a detox. We used to have one, but there's not enough people that want to do it or stick it out or funding or whatever the case is. But, so after that night, I did a sigil for in case, you know, let's say, and this is all hypothetical, but it's things you should think about. So let's say there's Thunder Wizard fans that see my response and are mad at me and, you know, start hating on me. Whether they make a video saying I'm stupid, or they fucking actually send me, you know, their thoughts that are, this fucking guy, wish he would just fucking whatever. I don't need anybody's mental energy affecting my reality. So I make the transformation sigil on a candle. I have, I made my own Saturn sigil out of metal, just the Saturn symbol, you know, the little TS looking thing, or TH looking thing. I have one for Pluto, one for Mars, and one for the Moon. So I use that as sigil, and I even make that on my little, it was on my temporary altar, or my portable altar, which is my pillar with my pentacle as a bigger stand for it, and with a 6-rayed star on it, or the 6-rayed star, I don't know. Yeah, 6-rayed star. So yeah, so then I make that on there, the sigil, like it is with the triangle. I make that in the physical. I also write that on the candle. And this morning we wake up and we got an extra $200 in the account, and we still haven't figured out why. So I'm cool. I'm cool with that. I wasn't expecting any deposits. My pay comes in on Tuesdays right now, so my wife's is on Wednesdays. So to get money on Friday, and baby bonus is way more than $200, which is next week. And when we did our taxes this year, we weren't getting any GSTs or Trillium checks or any of those things. So God only knows what the fuck that money's for, but I don't care. And this is what I mean. So point is, I can make things happen like that. I can get money, and so I depolarize myself, and I have a cross communication between my minds, and I'm able to speak things into my existence. I know this. Does that mean I know my heart's desires? Does that mean I know my passion? No, I don't fucking know those things. I don't know what those things are. But by being able to control my reality, or at least implant suggestions to play out within my world, by speaking to that part of my mind that makes this thing happen, eventually I'm going to, make a sigil or make a fucking candle saying I'm so grateful that I have a fulfilling career that I enjoy and is my life's passion and purpose. And if that gets through that part of the mind that knows what I want to do, it's going to start lining up the things for me to happen. But I'm not done my transformation curriculum yet, and I don't want to start my life's passion and start putting these things on hold. And so who knows, maybe I should do that, maybe I should start doing that, maybe I shouldn't, I don't know. The point is, by learning magic and casting for things and figuring out how to speak to the part of reality that creates reality, you're going to trial and error and do things, and it's going to keep leading you to your path, because you're talking to the part of the mind that apparently knows, according to Thunder Wizard and other people, your higher self and all that, this is the part of you that knows what you're supposed to be doing. But your conscious mind doesn't know what you're supposed to be doing. Your conscious mind's been programmed by society to, you have all these likes and dislikes, so within those dislikes and likes, what can you see yourself doing as a career, and if you have the money, you can go to school and become that. If you don't have the money, you're shit out of luck, and you get the choice of either working, going to school, or welfare, or faking disability, whatever you choose. But if you're speaking to that part of the mind, it's going to keep guiding you there. So by creating that connection between the subconscious and the conscious, now you realize that, okay, your identity is important, but it's not everything, and you shouldn't always be in your identity, but you can't shun it and say it's all bad either, So you don't want to be the identity, and you don't want to solely think that you are just your identity, but you want to be depolarized so that you can use your identity when you need to, and then speak to your subconscious when you need to, and then be neither of those things. Be just simply Mercury between, the realms. The conscious mind is the people, and you, whatever you are, so not Corey LeBlanc, but me, my magical name, maybe, let's say that. Even though I kind of named my subconscious, and I've said why in past videos, and it was specifically so that Corey LeBlanc is my entity in this plane. And if someone wants to curse the ceremonial witch or ceremonial witchcraft, that's not me. That's my alter ego that my YouTube channel is connected to. If someone tries to curse that, then it might curse my channel, meaning, I might not get views, my videos might get deleted, or whatever the case is. But if they try to curse me, if they try to send a curse at Corey LeBlanc, it's still not going to work, because I understand what Corey LeBlanc is. It's my identity. It's my conscious mind. And my conscious mind doesn't create my reality. So if someone tries to curse Corey LeBlanc, they ain't going to send no curses to me, not the part of me that creates my reality. So I named my subconscious mind or unconscious, that other part of me, a different name, and I got that embedded in my subconscious. So if no one knows that name, then technically they can't curse me. The only person that can curse me is me. So, and I did things in steps so that I can't curse myself as well. And being depolarized is another way of not cursing yourself, because whether or not you thought you were fat before, whenever you don't see it as, I'm either fat or I'm not fat, or I'm either good looking or I'm not good looking, when you don't have that point of view, and everything is a shade of gray, then it's like, I'm not ugly, but I'm not the best looking person in the world, but I don't care if I'm the best person in the world. I'm happy with what I got, and I'm content, and you're in the middle, so you don't play on either extreme, either pole. But so understanding that, but anyway, so back to the Mercury thing. So you are Mercury. You are between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, and you are the messenger of the gods. The gods being, and this is just something you can use maybe to your benefit, how I look at things. But the divine is
through the subconscious. You can speak to the spirit, the soul, the divine, your higher self, whatever you want to call it, that part of you that creates reality, whether you want to say it's God in the sky or it's just a part of your brain that we are trying to tap into. Well, you can speak to that, and that's the divine, so that's the gods. So you want to connect your conscious to your unconscious or your subconscious. You want to be that bridge in the middle. That's you. That's Mercury. That's what Mercury is. He's the magician. This is why it's magic. The magician card in tarot, the #1 card. He's got all the elements on his little altar. He's in the air. He's got the infinity symbol on his head. Because it doesn't matter. It can be for or against. He can be positive. He can be negative. And it's no matter what he does, it's going to serve him. So, anyways, that's a little bit about that. You might see a clip here from fucking the Octonauts kids show that I was watching yesterday with my daughter, and I just think it's kind of relevant to COVID-19, and maybe it will play into programming. And I don't like to get into that kind of thing kids are being programmed and all this for whatever, but I just thought it was very interesting, and I'm going to record a little bit of it just to show you how much the Octonauts underwater are dealing with the same thing we're dealing with, I guess. Alright, sorry about that. I started talking about the Octonauts, and it's still something I'm going to show you, but before I get into that, I started going off as soon as I said the word depolarized. A bunch of info came to me, so I started spitting that. But I was going to say, if you haven't fucked with your dark side, was the first thing I was going to say. If you haven't fucked with your dark side yet, and you haven't, if you're not working on being depolarized as well as maybe, because in my curriculum, when you first start the neophyte grade, which is your first grade, your first initiation grade, well, you don't have to fuck with your dark side. All you're doing is doing basic rituals, introductory rituals. You're learning how to do the lesser banishing, Kabbalistic cross, and the middle pillar by heart. You're learning how to use your imagination to project yourself up in the cosmos. This way, it's like being inside your mind. It's literally doing a symbolic act to speak to your mind. Like I said earlier, all the little things I did in the past when I renamed my subconscious so I can't get cursed, all these little steps I took, you can say, well, all that shit doesn't mean shit, doesn't mean anything. But it's like, no, that's not true. Because the way your body works, okay, subconscious, and this is how I look at it, and it's what works for me, but my subconscious controls my life. If I want to keep myself healthy, if I get a disease, whatever the case is, if I show my subconscious mind that I'm taking the steps, let's say I fucking think I'm cursed. Like I said before, a lot of old witchcraft and different curses are literally just making the person think that you're a witch and you have the power to curse them. If they believe that you put a curse on them, their own mind will do the rest. So, and if that's the case, if you think you're cursed and it's really just you cursing yourself, or you thought someone else cursed you and your mind made it real, right? You kept looking into it, oh my God, it's gotta be it, it's gotta be it. You connected all these dots that, weren't even connected at all. You just can't see the bigger picture. So, but doesn't make it any less real. It doesn't mean you're not cursed. You actually cursed yourself. How do you break that curse? Well, it's simple. You got to do something symbolic and show your subconscious mind that the thing you did, you believe that the thing you did will get rid of it. That's the cure. That's how you get rid of curses. If you think there's a curse put on you, you got to do something symbolic in your mind. You got to go around the house with salt and water and do all the fucking floors. If you think sage is burning white sage, and I'm not saying it is, but if you think burning white sage gets rid of entities as well, you go around with the windows open, you fucking flow that, saying either the Psalms, Psalm 22 or 23, or whatever prayer or whatever statement or whatever, I banish all these harmful entities and all the harmful energies out of my house. I bring my house back to a neutral state, which Frater Xavier also states in a video. If you're going to use salt and water and you're going to use, let's say, white sage, because he says white sage, he uses white sage, you're going to use those things to get rid of negative entities. It doesn't only get rid of negative energy and entities, it also gets rid of positive entities and energies. So if you have a happy home and you go around doing salt and water and all that, you're bringing your home back to neutral. And now you can put it either positive or negative. The point is, though, you're bringing it back to neutral. But the point is, if you do that, if you cleanse your house and you go and put salt in the corners of your room or something like that, or you make fucking whatever the case is, whatever your remedy is for decursing yourself, maybe you just simply make a sigil saying that you are protected and nothing can get in, and you have this big aura that's harder than a fucking concrete wall, and it's even stronger than concrete, nothing can get through it. Well, then you're gonna get rid of this thing. So when I tell you all these little things I did, it's regardless if they work or not. I know my spellcraft works. I know the things I speak into my subconscious mind without a doubt play out in my life. And because I have that level of faith on the tree of life, that's the Sephiroth that Jupiter is a part of. He's the priest, right? So if I appease that part of the tree of life, it's one of the highest magical laws. Therefore, when you use the higher magical laws to bring stuff in existence, they trump the lower laws. And that's why he has another video saying this is why people can be Catholic and have absolute faith that their prayers will be answered, and their prayers get answered sometimes because they're using the higher laws of magic. It's has nothing to do with God actually being a God and all this other shit. It's literally using the tree of life, okay? Using the Sephiroth path working to get things to filter down into Malkuth, okay, kingdom. Yesod is right above us. That's the astral. Well, that's where all the energy you have to put into something, you have to put that on the astral plane for it to manifest and come back down through you. It's also the moon. The moon is your subconscious mind. Well, the subconscious mind is where the astral is, apparently, or whatever the case is, according to path working and the tree of life. Point I'm trying to say is you got to do a symbolic representation, whether you want to get something in your life or you want to banish something out of your life. If you show your subconscious mind that this thing that you're doing consciously to create that bridge into the subconscious using Mercury to connect both minds, well, then it's going to say, okay, you impressed it. It's the female mind. You're using your conscious mind, the male mind, to impress you. It's like they're having sex, and then the baby is your manifestation, and there you go. You have to impress the female mind. If the female mind's not impressed, if you're just sitting there on the edge of your bed saying, oh, I am so rich, I am so rich, I am so rich, and you're not flamboyant, you're not using will, you're not using like, I'm so fucking rich, I love it, you're not using emotion and all that, you're not using Mars energy to impress on it, it's not going to do anything. So in a sense, whenever it comes to that version of positive affirmations, then Thunder Wizard is absolutely right. That's probably the only time I'm going to say that about this statement, because he's definitely right when it comes to people doing that. But if you get yourself into an alpha state, or theta state, or maybe alpha state, and you listen to this positive affirmations on a fucking thing, on YouTube or whatever, even those crazy silly ones he was mentioning, you get that in your subconscious mind because you're in that alpha state where things go in. Well, it will eventually play out. It's a long way, and you might have to do it for a while to really get it in there. It might take you 30 days in a row to build the habit that way, because it's not using the symbolic symbolism to speak to the subconscious mind. That's why magic is the trick. That's why even Pali shamanism works, using drums to get yourself into that state, and then you use visualization to think of what you want, and then you use your will and you chant a mantra that means of the thing that you want. I don't know if that's how it works. I'm just going off the top of my head. I'm fucking speculating. Well, you're using symbolic representations, music, sound, vibration, tones, to get the thing into your mind. You put yourself in that alpha state, maybe even theta. And the alpha's better than theta for manifesting, but theta is where you do the past life regression, hypnosis. And if you watched my video yesterday where Birch was talking, he explained all that. The point is, if you think a curse or whatever, you have to do a symbolic representation to decurse yourself. If you want to bring something in your life, you have to do a symbolic representation and put energy into it so it fucking appears on the astral plane. Whatever's on the astral plane has to compensate down here. So they have to match. So on the astral plane, you didn't put enough energy into having money, into anything, well, then you're not going to get it. And that's why the affirmation route, because you're not using magical things to put anything on the astral, you're just saying a sentence. It takes longer to work. That's why affirmations take long to work, and most people think it's just bullshit, they don't work. It's because, well, no, you have to do that shit. You have to do that shit a whole hell of a lot to get that thing to appear in the astral plane. And once that thing's in the astral plane, well, if you have a symbolic representation of it down here, and then if you have like a paper saying I'm so rich, and you put so much energy into that, and it's on the astral plane, well, because since you have that paper technically that says that thing, it may not come to you. But once you get rid of that paper, now you have something in the astral, but you don't have something in this realm. Therefore, it's got to create it for you. And first it tries to do it internally. Okay, let's make them rich internally. But you're already healthy, or whatever the case is. Who knows? So, well, we can't make them rich on the inside, so we manifest it externally for him. Boom! And then you get money. Money starts coming in. Holy fuck. But then you might be like, well, I thought this was gonna bring me happiness, but it didn't bring me happiness. Shit. But at least now you have the money to stay at home, not to work your job anymore, and figure out how and what your sole desire is. But it's gonna be very hard to do that if you're working a job to pay the bills. Even if you take Thunder Wizard's courses, you wake up before work, you do this meditation, and then you can't do the afternoon one because you're working all day, but then you come home and you do the afternoon one and the night one, and you know, but you're still working that 8 hours a day and you're paying for his fucking thing. And you know, it may help you find your way. I'm not saying it won't, but what I'm saying is if you do magic to get rid of like something like, well, I don't know my soul desire right now, but I don't think this job is it because it feels like it's sucking the life out of me. Well, you can manifest for time off. I do it all the time. That's what I'm doing right now. That's why I'm home right now. And I know I need a job to work, and I don't want to go on the welfare system, so I use the unemployment that I pay into, and I take time off, and I try to figure a little more pieces of the puzzle out, and then I go back to work for a bit, and then whenever it gets too much, I manifest more time off. And it's not hard. Anybody can do it. And this way you can try to figure out what you really want to do, how you want to proceed, how you want to go forth. Maybe you need to fix your family first. Maybe there's no point in chasing your soul desire if your kids are, let's say they have fucking head lice, or they fucking are sick, or they don't have friends, or they're struggling in school. Well, who are you to start looking at your life and trying to find your soul desire when your kid is fucking not passing its grades, not making friends, and is in hard times? Well, your soul desire, since you decided to make that kid who also has a soul desire, well, now you have to first focus on that child and get them right. And then once you can't do any more, then you can work on yourself. That's something most people need to fucking realize. It's all good and fine and dandy to say, I want to find my soul desire, and I need to find my soul desire, and I need to do what my soul is doing. But if you're responsible for fucking people, well, they also have soul desires. And if you're fucking up in your life and not paying the bills, or whatever the case is, you can't afford shit, and they gotta move and lose their friends, well, that's a fucked up thing to do to your children because you're trying to find your soul desire. And that's why I'm saying, if you take up magic while you're trying to find your soul desire, you'll be able to manifest the money. You'll be able to do these little things that make it easier to actually try to find your enlightenment, try to get to where you're trying to go. And exploring your dark side is part of that. Because I don't know about you, I'm pretty depolarized. I'm not as good as I could be, and I lost some of the progress I had made. Like I spoke in the last video, you know, about losing progress. Well, 3 months out of the month you're good, and 1 week is terrible, you didn't do anything, and you know, it's like you lost a whole week of progress, but you still have 2 weeks that are good. Well, I was way more depolarized before all these fights with my wife and all this crap happened. Now I'm a little more polarized in the areas where I was only slightly polarized in the past. So I'm not as far advanced as I was, but I'm pretty depolarized. But here's the thing, there's still things that make me upset. And when I get upset, I get fucking mad. Like I fucking lose it. This morning when everything happened, I started freaking out. And it was like all these emotions I haven't dealt with yet all come at the same time. So I'm mad about the fact that they took her sister's gum and that they're not listening to the food. But then there's all these other things coming that have nothing to do with that. And why is that? Well, it's because I'm in the anger, I'm in the rage, I'm in being upset, that vibration. So everything I haven't dealt with, even though I'm back at a positive vibration or I'm not thinking about it, well, it's all good, right? But as soon as I get back in that vibration, all those things I never dealt with, they come back. Because like attracts like, I'm in that fucking state. And it's not necessarily that I'm pulling bad things to me, but the things that pissed me off that I've never dealt with, and I just decided to, let it slide. Well, they all come back. And that's the thing you don't want to do. And if you keep piling those things up, I don't have much. I didn't have much to deal with. I don't know how to deal with my temper that well. So when I get mad, it's fucking brutal. People are scared. But I didn't have that many things I was mad about because I deal with this shit as it comes. And I get mad about things and I let off that steam and I get that emotion out and I fucking send it out. Sometimes I actually charge people with that shit. And what I mean by that is I don't charge them with like assault. I mean, I made a video about it in the past when my son missed me off that one day. He didn't want to cut the grass. I was cutting the grass. I was kept coming in to try to. I was negatively charged and I was pissed off. And I kept coming in and say something to him. And he would just sit there on his phone with no emotion on his face. And I couldn't get to him. And I kept going back outside. I couldn't pass off the charge. So he was all neutral and all happy on the couch. And I'm just like, go back outside, try to work. I couldn't work, go back in, yell at him some more, try to say something. And it wasn't until I said, I'll take the Xbox, I'll take the fucking phone, I'll take you out of your fucking school, blah, 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 blah. I finally said the right trigger, take baseball away, all these things that I passed my negative charge on to him. He got up very mad, decided to start doing the chores, and then I was back at neutral. Finally, is that right? Is that wrong? I don't know, but I let it out of my body. I got rid of it. And he had to be negatively charged to get him motivated to actually fucking do something. Otherwise, he would just sit there all day long on his fucking phone saying, fuck you. I don't want to fucking do what you want to fucking do. Fuck you, Mom. Fuck you, Corey, because I'm a stepdad. Fuck you. I don't got to do shit. No, I needed to pass that negative charge that I was feeling. I was pissed off because he's not keeping up his end of the bargain. It's housework. I'm not asking much. I'm asking him to clean up his own fucking room. If he takes food downstairs, he picks up his fucking mess after. If you can't pick up your own fucking mess after yourself when you're downstairs, then you don't bring food downstairs. And you don't get to fucking take food. I mean, it's stupid. You're stealing food from me and you're gonna leave the fucking proof right there on your fucking floor? Like, how fucking stupid you gotta be. It shows that he doesn't care and he's not worried about the consequences. Look, I'll leave the fucking chuck wagons I stole right there on the fucking floor, and parents find it. I don't give a fuck. I can do what I want. I'm a teenager, yeah? Fuck that shit. When he gets home from school, I'm passing a negative charge on to his ass to get him motivated to stop that fucking shit off. And that's going to make me feel better. And right, wrong, doesn't matter. We should all be all happy and loving. Like, no, not if your kid's disrespecting you. He's all happy because he's getting away with shit that he shouldn't be getting away with. So this is one aspect of dealing with your dark shit. If you think your kid should walk all over you, and because you don't want to make him mad at you and get all pissed off and, I'm going to go live with my real dad. Well, go fucking do it whenever you're 18. But right now, you don't have that option. So get down there and do the fucking shit I told you to do. You got to do it. You can't just keep smoothing over the fucking waters just so he fucking doesn't say that and just let him treat you like shit. And, I'm guilty of this fucking same shit too. Like I said in the past, he's the one I was always easiest on, because I know when he found out he had epilepsy and his dad shit, all that shit bugs him. I mean, he's a cancer. He feels things so strongly, and he has a hard time dealing with those emotions. And he was even cutting himself at one time when things got really bad, and I took the knife already out of his room that he has, so that can't happen. But point is, being a cancer, he feels it, so I go easy on him. But I'm not doing him any favors by going easy on him, because the more easy I am on him, the more he treats his mom like shit, the more he's not doing his fucking end of the deal, and the more he's just gonna fucking think it's okay, because he's getting away with it. We're not saying it. He thinks it's okay. And then we yell at him, and he doesn't understand why. I've been doing this for 2 months now, guys. Why are you only yelling at me now? It's always been like this, and that's my fault. As a parent, I failed. I fucked up. I should have been on his ass from the fucking start. No, see that one little piece of garbage there? Your room's perfect. Pick that fucking piece of garbage up right fucking now. And then I set the tone. Now he knows what to expect. But for 2 or 3 months, I haven't been doing this because I'm trying to be nice. And this is what happens. You get walked all over. And now he's not going to understand. He's like, I've been doing this forever. It's been normal for the last 2 months. Why all of a sudden is it bad? And that's our fault as parents. We fucked up because we should have set the expectation. And whenever he didn't do what he was supposed to do, kept his end, we should have been on him like a fucking ton of bricks. And then you don't have to be mean about it. You can be nice about it. And that's where I got to learn, because I can just fucking be so mean and just say everything and take everything away all at once. Like I'm the fucking God sending a flood to kill everybody. Like that's how I act when I'm mad. And it's very hard for me to control. And I know I need to work on that. And that's progress. But just knowing you need to do something and actually doing it are 2 different fucking things. The point is, that's where I need to work on it. I can still punish him and be nice about it. Oh, you think it's funny? Yeah? Get down there and clean up your fucking room. Give me your fucking phone and don't ask for the Xbox, and I'm changing the fucking password on the Wi-Fi. What? That's a little too much? Jose? That's a little harsh, blah, blah, blah. Nope. And, well, that's your opinion. I don't give a shit, and walk away. It can be as simple as that. I don't have to sit there and scream at him and insult him and yell and get him mad and riled up. I don't have to do that. But I do at times, and that's where I need to work on that shit. And I think I've been getting better, but it's hard to know. We're biased when it comes to our own fucking emotions. So I'm getting better. It's like, no, you're getting worse. You don't know, right? But this is the point I'm saying. It's normal to get this. If you're in spirituality and people are saying, oh, after a while, you don't even get mad anymore. It's like, bullshit. That never goes away. You're never not going to get mad. It's an emotion that you're supposed to have for a fucking reason. It's not something you just shun and you never go into. It's something you learn how to potentially have a bit of control when you're in the moment, meaning you train yourself enough times, because you get in it. How do you practice not being as mad when you're mad? Well, you got to get mad to practice, right? You can't practice being mad when you're happy. It's just not going to work. So when you get mad and you flip out and shit like that, you got to try to somehow learn how to control and tone it down and realize that, like I just said, it's not his fault. Now that I know that he's going to be like, well, this doesn't make sense. You're so mad at me for the same things I've been doing for 2 months. You've been going by my room for 2 months, seeing garbage on my floor for 2 months, and you haven't said anything for the last 2 months. Now you're mad at me and freaking out, taking everything away. How is that fair? And it's not. He's right. That's what he's going to say. He's absolutely fucking right. That's my fault. I got to be penalized for that. But doesn't change the fact that he also has to be penalized. It's not hard for a kid to know, like, I may put garbage on the floor, I pick up garbage, I put garbage in the garbage bag. It's not fucking hard. Most people know that. They can play stupid all they want and all that shit. You gotta remember, this is how you try to tone it down. Remember that it's not their fault. Technically, you're the parent. You're in charge of their little brain. You are supposed to be molding them into an adult. If they're a teenager, you're molding them into a young adult. If they're a preteen, you're molding them into a teenager, eventually into an adult. If they're a baby, you're molding them into a toddler, into an adolescent, into a young preteen woman or man, and then, you know what I mean? So we are the ones molding them. So getting mad at them for not knowing what to do is actually the parent's fault, because you didn't teach your kid how to fucking do whatever the fuck you're trying to tell them what to do. Wrap your head around that. That's one of the things I try to use in the moment when I'm mad at my oldest, for example. When he starts giving me a lip and talking back, it's like, you little fucker, don't fucking talk to me like that. But it's like, well, where the fuck did he learn that from? Well, some of it's from his friends, of course, but most of it's from me, from either talking to my other kids or my wife or whatever the case is, or just talking with my friends. He learned that shit from me. So if he's talking to me disrespectfully or whatever the case is, it's my fucking fault, because I fucking taught him that. I programmed him like that. And that helps me tone it down when I'm yelling at him. Not always, but it's something maybe it'll be helpful for you. But anyways, if you're like that, if you're like me, happy most of the time, working on depolarizing yourself, everything's great. But then the minute something pisses you off, it's like the end of the world. You want to jump off a bridge or just move out or get divorced or whatever the case is, because all these emotions you haven't dealt with, you need to start dealing with them. That's what I'm trying to do. Not always, because it's a hard thing to do. If you're having a good day, opening up that can of fucking bullshit that you haven't been dealing with is like the last thing you want to do. And I get it, but it's better to do it when you can control the state. Because if you're in a good state and you go open up all that baggage that you have, well, then it's not so bad. But whenever you're in a bad mood, all that shit's coming at you anyways. So it's just going to keep ticking you off and pissing you off over and over again. It's going to do you more harm. So pick a day, a time where not much is going on, and you can just blow through all the bullshit you fucking haven't been dealing with, all the things that pissed you off. You start writing about it in a book or something like that, and then allow yourself to feel those emotions. Allow yourself to get mad if you have to get mad, and tell yourself before you start this, like, okay, I might get mad at my wife for something she did that I haven't brought up to her yet, but because I'm doing this exercise, I'm not going to allow myself to go down there and yell at her. She has no idea what's going on and doesn't even know you're doing this. So you got to make sure you just keep, I don't want to say keep it inside because it's bad, but you're dealing with the emotions on the paper. You can think of your own resolutions. You write all this shit down so it gets out of you. Get these negative charges out of you, because the minute you get into a negative vibration, let's just use those new age terms, but you get into that anger emotional state, it's technically a negative charge, and it's the vibration you're in. So whenever you become upset, then all those things that you have are going to come up because they're at the same frequency, I guess. And then once you're back at the happy frequency, well, then all the good things in your life are going to come up, and you're going to be like, oh no, it's all good. Remember, I manifested this and I can do this. It's all good. And as soon as you're mad, it's like, oh fuck everything. Point is, deal with those things. And once you're in a happy state, well, then you start talking about something that's a little less happy. And then, you bring yourself into neutral area here because, well, you're no longer happy, but you're not really upset because that thing didn't happen. You're just trying to work through it so that you can one by one work through these emotions. So the next time you're angry and upset, they don't come at once and like, hey, you didn't deal with me. Hey, you didn't deal with me. Hey, you didn't deal with me. Like, hey, the fucking fact that you can't pay your bill, the fact that your mortgage is coming up, you don't have enough money in the account, the fact that your son's talking in your face, the fact that you don't have money to buy something for fucking Valentine's Day. All these things are coming at you all at the same time. And you just get overwhelmed and you lose your shit. That's what you don't want. So one at a time you deal with them, write them down on a piece of paper and try to come up with some resolutions. That's what I'm trying to say. And that's something I'm going to go do probably right now. But the whole Octonaut thing I was going to talk about, probably do it a different day. I gotta record the fucking thing, and then I gotta find. They made these little starfish crab things look like the COVID-19 little virus, and then they're under the sea, and these little viruses are attacking. I was like, oh my god, it's an epidemic, and if they come through the reef, we're gonna lose everything, and it's so dangerous. They're losing these little pick things, and when someone gets picked, they're infected, and it's crazy. It was so much like COVID-19. So I want to show everybody just a little clip of that, and then if people don't think it's alike, well, then I'm gonna show you a couple other things, and you can make of it what you want if they're trying to program us or not. Program our kids at the young level how to deal with it, but the octonauts all get together, and the snails make some slime to slip and slide, and the fucking octopuses fucking hit them with the fucking ink, and then they bake them a bunch of coral pies so they don't eat all the coral, and everything is okay in the world of the octonaut. So no need to worry about that. But I just thought it was funny, and then the minute I was watching with my daughter, everything just kept telling me, record this, record this, record this, record this. It's like, I know when that voice is telling me to record something, I'm supposed to make a video about it, or at least talk about it, or write about it. So I'm gonna have to do that, but put this out here first today, and then go from there. So yeah, if you enjoyed this, thank you, and feel free to either subscribe or like if you do want to, but you don't fucking have to, because it really doesn't matter. But thank you for viewing. That's all I ask, and have a great fucking day.